on. Let me open up a.
Oh, I need to create a document for you.
I think we left out last time. I forget the guy's house we were at, but we're on back and some guard dogs spotted us.
Yep. There were in fact guard dogs. Today we have 16th. Alright. And yep. I've created the document.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna initially write them up in a program on my computer and then transfer them over.
All right.
It's a little easier. I could switch between windows easier that way. So.
I've also what's the word? Made tidied up a bit our handouts. If you see this in
yeah,
our handouts
I
section.
noticed they were organized a little differently.
They're organized a little differently. I think the access will be easier for you guys and for myself. So that's it. Okay, so we start. Last time you were standing in front of Ostlander house. He's one of the two men that are apparently want to tear Nordfels apart with their games and their influence. The other man is Kaufman. As you remember, you've become the Schlichters, which is a position that basically entitles you to solve other people's problems and to preserve unity in the town. You've already found out what really happened to poor Carol, the halfling, who was beaten to death by 3 drunks. And you've also heard stories about both Kaufman and Ostlander. Right now you're investigating Ostlander's house. You've managed to sneak out back, but you can hear the dogs coming.
There's a gate separating us from the dogs, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
However, if you remember, there were 2 guards in front of the house.
I think maybe we should try to use the guards to our advantage. Tell them we're investigating a burglary. We pursued a suspect out back and lost sight of him.
I think that's a good lie.
I mean, just see where it goes, you know.
If they come, I mean, honestly, if we're if they don't come, I mean, I see at this point no need to introduce ourselves yet.
Yeah,
but,
right.
If they come rushing around, I think I agree. I think that's a great thing to tell them.
You can see you can hear basically one of the guards shouting to the other, "I'm going to check out what's going on in there." Okay, alright, no worries. And you can see that Johan, the bounty hunter, looks at you nervously and says, maybe we should, I don't know, try to hide or break in real fast, because, well, they saw that we were going in front of the house, and they know we are Schlichters. I don't think they'll believe us. Yeah, by the way, I'm going to roleplay Johan for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's Gennaro, of course, who said, yeah, man, yeah. If they find us, yeah, they will kill us, yeah.
Can I throw some salt pork over the fence?
Can you what? Excuse me?
Can I throw some salt pork over the fence?
Of course you can. The dogs are, the dogs are making quite a noise from the other side.
I guess 2 portions. I'm gonna throw it in 2 different directions, like away from us.
Okay. You've thrown the pork into other directions.
Okay.
Now wait a second, I need to roll. Okay,
So hopefully the dogs are at least curious what I threw.
the dogs actually disengaged from the gate and ran in the direction of the meat. You can, in a second, you can hear the sounds of two animals devouring the rations, and you can hear one of the guards shouting, "Oh, all right, the dogs are just eating something, you know. I think it's a rat or something. Not really sure. Ah, dumb animals." And you can hear his steps going back to the main entrance. You're probably safe for now.
I want to cut 2 more portions just for, just in case they get interested again.
Okay. You do that.
So I'm down to 11 portions now.
Just note it in your inventory. I mean, inventory, and it will be okay.
Okay.
By the way, sorry, I'm going to eat a few snacks because I haven't ate anything today. Almost. I hope you guys don't mind.
Lucas, exactly how far do we expect to go with this, and what do we expect to find?
I mean, my initial thought when checking this place out had been, at least for tonight, just watching and seeing. You know, like, I hadn't necessarily intended to like break in or anything.
Okay. So
It'd been more, observational. To kind of, because kind of see if there's one, regular movements, but also just see see what it is that everybody's or not everybody, but the rumors kind of are going on about, just to kind of gauge, because how rumors are. I mean, half the time it could be it could be into just a little S&M, versus this is rumors could go for something simple like that too, so it could sound like it's something horrible when really it's just nothing.
How about we stake the place out, and then if something interesting happens, we'll investigate further.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, really kind of watching to see what we need to know about.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
wait a second. I mean, this Ostlander guy, yeah, I think he's right now he's probably somewhere else drinking or something. Shouldn't we, like, I don't know, just break in his house and stake it out? I mean,
Johansson?
yeah, if I'm going to talk in my serious voice, it's Johan. If I'm going to talk in my not Sylvester Stallone voice, it's Gennaro.
Okay.
Because it's dark in there and we won't see anything from here, and sooner or later you're going to run out of pork.
I agree, I guess. If we go in there and we get caught, we are instructed to not hurt anybody. It's going to be hard to not hurt anybody if we're caught.
But we are Schlichters, yeah? I mean...
So we just talk our way out of it? Or try to talk our way out of it?
I think.
Use our authority?
I think.
Okay.
I mean, that's just my, that's just my idea.
Is the gate locked?
You mean the gate, the door to the house?
Yeah.
You tried? I mean, did you try it?
Yeah. I'm gonna jiggle the handle, see if it's locked.
It's closed, unfortunately.
Okay, I don't think I have a lockpick. Does anybody have a lockpick?
I'll
Nope.
see if Gennaro has one, but I really doubt it. Wait, first I'm going to try Johan. Manacles blanket, nope. 7-day rations, nope. I'm going to try Gennaro. But I also don't think he has one. No, he does not. Unfortunately, you don't have a lockpick.
Yes. Are there any windows that are open on the second floor or anything?
No windows open. No.
The windows on the outside, are they locked? Like, can they be slid open?
Well, I mean, you can probably open the windows, but they are closed. You know this.
Okay, can I try to open one?
Can you open one?
Yeah.
Without breaking it, I doubt it.
Yeah, like, do you know the little latch that stops it from going up?
Yeah, I know. But you don't think you'll be able to open a window without, without breaking it?
Okay.
Unfortunately. But you can try, of course. I mean, you can.
We have to make a little noise, it looks like. Should someone distract the guards?
I don't know that it's worth trying to break in. Not right now. But again, I kind of had initially thought of more of just an information gathering trip versus an actual, getting in there trip.
I think that's the safest route. My concern is that we're not going to see anything, though. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, that's that's always
my
a
other
possibility.
concern is that we get caught and we have to do something bad.
But if we want to know something about this guy, we need to check his house. I mean, if you don't want to do, this the hard way and just ambushing him on the road and beating the shit out of him. Didn't you?
Someone's gonna have to distract the guards. I'm gonna break one of these windows as quietly as I can.
So maybe one of us should break a window in the adjacent house.
Is there an adjacent house?
Yeah, of course. Like I told you, there are a couple of houses here, but this one is the biggest and definitely the most opulent. It has 2 stories. It has a huge imperial flag waving in the night sky. But there are many other houses around.
So what's your plan with breaking the other window? Are you just gonna pretend to be a burglar, or?
Well, either that, or we can do this simultaneously, almost.
But you're likely gonna get caught, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to run in the opposite direction, and you guys are going in.
Okay. So should we meet you back at the inn?
I think so. Yeah. After you do this, I will be in the inn. I will check on our friends there, if they are still in the cellar.
Okay.
Before we do that, we should probably look in the window and make sure we don't see anybody inside of the house.
That's a very good idea.
Yes.
All right, so let's check the windows.
Yeah.
Sorry about this. It's my damn phone. Okay. So you're checking out the windows. Roll for your perception. Okay, Brian passed it. Well, Andrew, not exactly.
He's checking his reflection in the window.
Yeah.
And basically, thanks to your night vision, you've managed to peek inside, Brian, and you can see that on the on the bottom floor there's nobody there. Meanwhile, both Andrew and Gennaro, you're just staring, into the dark. you don't see really anything. But Brian, you don't think that there's anyone there.
Okay, so Johan, go find a spot at an adjacent house for a window to break. When you're ready, cough, and then count to 3 and break the window.
Or maybe I should whistle.
Or yeah, I mean.
Or is there like a bird call?
Yeah, or something.
Yeah, but these kind of things they're more for foresters like you, I think. I can imitate birds, my friend. Yeah.
A whistle works.
What?
A whistle works.
Alright, so it will be a whistle then.
And then on the third count, we break the windows.
Right. So let's do this. And he disappears into the back alley. You wait for a minute or two, and then you can hear the.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I break the window.
All right.
Just like one little.
You've smashed the window with a rock, just lying there. You can almost hear simultaneously a second smash, but it's so well synchronized that it's really hard to tell from where it came. Okay. And okay. And you can hear the two guys up front, saying to one another, "Hey, did you hear that? It came from out there. Maybe it's a burglar. I don't know. What could it be? We should check it out. No, we should not leave our post. Yeah, but what if this burglar? What if he would try to, break into the house of Mr. Ostlander? Oh, damn it! All right, you go. I'll stay here. All right." And you can hear a pair of feet just running in the direction where Johan came. Where Johan went. So yeah, you probably just bought yourselves a free entrance to the Ostlander house.
Okay. I'm gonna try and undo the window latch through the broken glass.
Okay. You don't need to roll. Basically, you did that without any fuss. You've undid the.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna climb in then.
Okay, so you go inside. Who's next?
Do we all want to go in?
I think one of us should stay out here as a lookout.
Yeah. Do we want to leave Gennaro out, or do we want to leave me looking out?
I'm not leaving the boss side. Yeah. Where boss
Okay,
comes, I come. Yeah.
I'll sit outside and kind of find a hiding place, and I'll whistle if I see anything.
Okay. I'm gonna leave you with one of the salt pork portions.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
So he left you a salt pork portion, and he and Gennaro went inside. You know one thing, Bran. Once you're inside the house, you need to act very carefully. And basically, you saw that the windows, on the outside, the front of the house, they are rather big.
So see inside with the red light.
Yeah, and there is moonlight. There's weak moonlight, but there is still moonlight tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna be crouched really as low as I can go and urge Gennaro to do the same.
Okay. He says like, sure boss, yeah, stealthy like. And you begin your exploration of the house.
Okay.
You go through the dark rooms, dark corridors. It's very well furnished and quite tidy, in fact. It reminds you of the house in which you left Bianca, actually. Of course, it's not so opulent, but it's still, it's still a very nice house. In a living room, you can see, in the weak moonlight, a huge painting of Ostlander hanging over the chimney. He's looking grimly down at the observer. Now, do you also want to try to, gather collectibles from the house, or are you just looking for clues? I asked.
In this case, I think I'm just looking for clues.
All right. So after rummaging through the first floor, you came to the deduction that it's quite mundane, except for one locked door.
Okay.
There's only one locked door. And tell me, what are you going to do about it?
Can I see through a keyhole or anything?
Yeah, you can, but it's dark on the other side. There are no source of lights.
Gennaro, you don't have a lockpick or anything?
Yeah, man, I can smash a lock. Yeah, I can smash it like like a Chiptilian hooker. Yeah.
Is there any fabric we could wrap it in?
What?
Is there any fabric or anything that we can kind of wrap the metal in so it won't make a noise or make as much of a noise?
Trust me, if you're going to break a door from its hinges, it will make a noise.
Oh. I thought you meant like just break the lock part.
It will still make a noise. I mean, you're breaking wood and metal. But roll for intelligence. Andrew, meanwhile, you can hear one of the guards, going through nearby alleys. Probably searching for the source of the commotion, and you can also hear that the dogs are once again coming towards your position.
Okay. Well, first, I assume I had kind of found a hidden spot anyway.
You did. You did.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. How do the dogs sound? Are they just
They're sniffing
trotting around, or
they're sniffing, but they are coming closer to you.
okay. So I'm gonna hold off just a little bit longer on that, because if they don't sound like, when you say they're sniffing, I assume you mean like just dogs walking around sniffing and not like they're on a trail.
Well, actually, it's the second part.
Oh, okay.
You think they're trying to find the sand?
Okay, can I tear off a piece of the pork and just chuck it as far as I can in the opposite direction?
Of course.
Like I don't want to use the whole ration, but just enough to send them over in another area.
Of course, you can do that.
Okay.
You've thrown a piece of pork. You can once again hear the dogs, being agitated, and just run in that direction.
Okay.
And you can hear the sounds of them devouring the pork. And just let me roll. Oh. Okay. Meanwhile, Brian, you rolled for your intelligence. I can see that. You're wondering if the key is not, somewhere around the door.
I'm gonna search.
Okay. Don't roll.
Okay.
You've begun to search, and of course, you've checked the frame. I mean, you've asked Gennaro to check the frame because, And yes, there was a key lying on top of the door frame.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the door and open it.
You open the door. Behind the door is a small chamber with a shelf full of books and a small desk.
Okay.
But it's really, really dark. I mean, there are no windows here. So you probably need a source of light to see anything.
Are there any candles or anything around?
Yes, there are candles, in fact.
Okay, I want to light a candle and carry it with me.
Okay.
I want to stay very low.
Okay, so you want to light a small candle and just.
I'm looking for documents, like any kind of manifest, any kind of letters, anything.
Right. Or just. When you light when you lit the candle, you can see that the show features a large number of books and scrolls.
Okay.
That are well, they are weird. I mean, you don't read exactly, but just looking at them, it feels somewhat wrong to you. You can see that few of them have strange esoteric symbols, including one pattern that that is common almost on all of them. A star with 8 points. But besides the fact that you can't really look too closely at the thing because your eyes begin to hurt, you don't really know what it is and what it represents.
Can I take one of them with me?
Of course. Also,
is there anything with his signature on it?
What?
Is there anything with his signature specifically?
You can see that there is a small diary on the desk.
Okay.
It's it's a small book intended as a diary. Even though you can't read, it's a diary because you've saw a few of them in your lifetime. And here's the final thing. A few feet next to the desk is a hatch in the floor.
Okay. I want to take the diary. I want to take a scroll, and I want to check the latch on the floor.
Alright. You check the latch on the floor. There's a narrow shaft with a ladder attached to one side of it, and it leads all the way down to the cellar.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly or quietly go down the ladder.
Do you take Gennaro with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go down the ladder. You go down the ladder, and you find a lantern hanging right next to it, down. In the cellar. It will help illuminate the pitch black cellar a little, but you quickly find out that calling it a cellar is actually very generous, as it's basically just a long underground corridor held up with a few thick wooden beams. And roll for your perception, please. You rolled? Yeah, you rolled.
Yeah.
Okay. It's much colder in here since it's underground. But there's also this stench of mold and of wet dirt. The corridor really just leads in one direction. There are no side passages. You also find. Oh, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my god. I've managed it. Sorry, I'm a bit sick as we are playing, because I've caught the cold. So if I'm going to sneeze or cough, I have to excuse you. Anyway, the lantern is not giving out a lot of light. It's quite weak, and it barely allows you to see a few feet ahead. Even with your night vision, the dark is almost oppressive. So what are you going to do?
What do you think, Gennaro?
I don't know, boss. I mean, I got your back, yeah? If you want to go, where you go, I go, huh?
Should we send for our friend?
Well, I can fetch him if you want.
Yeah, I think this is about to get pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, you just wait here, alright? I'm gonna fetch our friend, yeah?
Okay,
Right.
quietly.
No worries, boss. I'm always quiet, as a little mouse. And he goes upstairs. Andrew.
Mhm.
You've waited a few minutes there, and suddenly you can see the huge form of Gennaro. Just filling the dark window you're looking at from behind. Some broken crates that you found refuge behind, and you can hear him. Hey. Hey.
I stick my head up so he can see me in a way that will also not alert dogs and/or guards.
Okay. The dogs have finished eating, and you think that they've just buggered off somewhere.
Okay.
So
yeah, I want to make it over to the window then.
Yeah, you make it over to the window, and he says, "Oh yeah, me and the boss, we found out a secret passage. Yeah, secret passage. We kinda need you to go with us, yeah."
Okay, so I climb up as
But
quietly as I can.
Be quiet as a little Italian mouse, okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Quiet. That's my Stallone is pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, you go inside, and
Okay.
you've quickly found out, just like I told Brian, that this house is very opulent. It's very richly furnished, basically. So you're quite awed at what you see. Anyway, you come to this strange room, which now is dark because, Brian took the candle with him, but you can see the desk, you can see the shelf, and you can see the trapdoor. General tells you that basically, downstairs there waits Brian. Sally,
Okay.
and you can see a very, very faint glow of a weak lantern.
Okay.
You go down, I presume.
Yeah.
All right. You go
Thank
down.
you for coming. I'm afraid that what lies ahead might not be human. I've heard stories of penniless beggars turned rich merchants overnight through dark deals in rooms such as this.
Okay. Well, let's get looking. This is clearly suspect.
So, are you going forward?
Yeah, very carefully. I'm gonna get my club out.
Yeah, Gennaro also, he pulled out his club and his buckler. Andrew, are you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You
have a hatchet handy.
You have a hatchet handy. All right.
Yeah.
You go
I
forward.
hand Lucas one of the scrolls to show him the symbols on it. Have you seen any of this before?
You don't.
No.
You did not.
Yeah. No.
You did not, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately, because when he showed you the symbol, it began to hurt your eyes quite a bit, and it basically, in the corner of your vision, you thought you saw movement when you were looking at this strange, star with
Like-
with 8 points. But when you checked the movement, there was nothing there.
Like movement on the scroll versus
No.
movement.
Movement in the corner of your eyes, like some tendrils were moving there, some form of smoke.
Okay.
But the thing is that you did not thought smoke, you thought living shadow.
Right.
Basically,
I think at this point, any opposition we come across, we can deal with how we see fit.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you don't
but-
really know what this means, but you know one thing, that it's probably very, very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably think that the local priest of Sigmar would not agree
Yeah.
with Mr. Ostlander having these scrolls and books down here.
It's some
Yeah.
kind of black magic, right? Like we might not know what it is, but we know it's outlawed.
evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that basically, of course, there are evil sorcerers, because the priests just preach all the time about the dangers of the dark forces, and evil men, sleeping with witches. So probably Ostlander is sleeping with witches. Who knows? Perhaps he has a witch upstairs,
Yeah. Or in this room.
or in this room, or in this corridor. Anyway, you go forward. Who goes first? Who goes last? I assume Gennaro goes first.
Yeah, although we probably want Sal pretty close behind him since he can actually see better in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Sally, right now you're carrying the lantern, and you know that even with the lantern, you can see almost anything, and you're a halfling, so Gennaro will see even less.
I'll go first.
Okay, so you go first. Gennaro goes second.
Yeah, I'll take up the rear and
Okay.
kind of keep looking back too.
As you go forward, you begin to smell other things. At first, it's nothing big, but the further you go, the animal stench, not smell, stench is becoming overwhelming. It proves that the live animal is being kept here. Everyone roll for a toughness test, please. Oh, Gennaro made it.
I
And
barely failed it,
alright, and
unless there was a bonus.
no, unfortunately not this time. Alright, basically, Andrew, for your character, the stench was too much. It's horrible. I mean, I can't even describe it. It's like rotting, rotting fur mixed with feces and urine. It's horrible. You've suddenly you couldn't help yourself. You just you've vomited everything you've ate before, like something like that.
Okay.
Because you couldn't really help yourself. What that means is that basically for some time you have a minus 5% modifier for being nauseous.
Okay. Is there is the floor like covered in dirt and stuff that like I can hide the vomit in?
Yes, because the floor is basically just carved in the dirt. Like I said,
Yeah.
this
Okay.
this corridor is just it's a big tunnel drilled in the earth itself. It's not a normal cellar.
Okay. Yeah. Once I'm done retching, I need to hide that because I'm pretty sure if he walks down into his tunnel and sees a pile of vomit, he's gonna know somebody was there. So.
Yeah. All right. Good idea, and you did exactly that. You've hidden your vomit quite well. Like I said, the light from the lantern is quite weak, and so you don't even notice that the corridor basically suddenly led you into a wider room. In the weak light, you can see some blood-stained tables and obscure machinations at the edge of the room. In addition to that, you can make out a huge dark shape rising on the other end of the room and grunting towards you.
Grunting?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like this.
Randall, give me strength.
You can hear the general saying "Vaffanculo," which is a really bad word in Italian. You can see in the weak lamp, in the weak light of the lamp, that you are facing a hideous creature, a half man and half goat, with long horns protruding from its head. It's a beastman. Suddenly, the beast goes wild because it saw you. It saw the light of your lantern. It's pulling at the heavy chains that tie it to a wall, and it tries to break itself free. Braying. It tries to pull itself free. What are you doing? It's huge. Basically, it's just a mountain of muscle and rage.
But it's chained to the wall.
Yeah, it's chained to the wall.
How
What?
We could throw the lantern at it, but then we have no light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do we see like any other exits or anything in the room?
Well, roll for awareness.
No. Man, I'm not rolling well today.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Wait. Yeah. No, you suddenly you began to panic a bit. You've suddenly began to look around. The beast it rips the chains from the wall, and this makes the whole cavern or the whole room tremble. A huge pile of dirt comes down. It comes down actually in a few places in the room, but the biggest pile of dirt blocks your exit. It just it goes right. It just blocks the way that you came from. Howling with rage, the gore charges.
Oh god.
It charges towards you, filled with fury.
Split up.
Alright, so everyone, roll for initiative. 1d10 plus your agility bonus. I'm going to roll for Gennaro. Shit, sorry. Oh, Gennaro is... Man, he's rolling nice. Yeah, it's 1d10.
And my agility bonus is a 3.
I have a agility 54.
54?
What do you mean bonus?
Agility bonus. So, how much did you had right now?
I rolled a
5 and 1. So you have 6.
No, I thought it was 1d10, right?
Yeah, it's 1d10, and you add your first digit of...
I think I rolled 2d10. Hang on.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so roll 1d10 and add the first digit of your... Alright, so you have 14 agility. Gennaro...
I have...
Yeah?
Okay, I have an agility bonus of 3 and I rolled an 8, so that's what, an 11?
Alright, you've got 11. Andrew... Agility, General has 10, and Gore. Mr. Gore has...
If it comes down to it, I'm throwing this lantern at it.
okay.
Like, it seems like that might be our only hope.
Alright. Wait a second, I need to roll for General and for Beastman one more time. Alright, so basically, here's the... here's how it looks. Brian goes first, Andrew goes second, General goes third, and Beastman goes last. Tell me your declarations.
How far away is it? It's coming straight for me?
Well, it's coming straight towards one of you guys. I'm not exactly sure whom yet, but it charges you.
I want to break off to the left, I guess.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to right.
I think we need to surround it.
Okay. I'm drawing a really horrible map. Alright, so here's Gore. And here are you guys. Basically, the red will be Sally. The pink will be Andrew. And the green will be Gennaro. Gore is over there, at the top. You can see him. Sorry for the quality of the map. I can't really. I can.
So it looks like that pile on the left. That's cover, I take it.
Yeah, it's some. It's a table. There are some other strange things. There's also something here. But it's just put right next to the wall, and it doesn't really offer much cover except if you would, I don't know, maybe jump on top of it. So your declarations, Brian, you go left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't want to engage in combat yet. So I want to get out of the way.
So where you go exactly? Just left.
Can I run on top of that pile?
This one here, the top here. All right, just roll for your agility, please. Because basically the ground is quite treacherous here. All right, you've tried to run there, but you just came right to it. You tried to scramble on top, but the dirt it just make your feet unstable. But you're trying to get here.
Can I set the lantern down at the end of my move?
Well, no. If you try to climb, it's a full action. Go there and climb. It's a full action. Next turn, you will be able to put down the lantern.
Okay.
Right, Andrew. What's your declaration? You can see a huge, muscle freak just charging towards you, bellowing.
Yeah, because he's charging at me, and I see my light running off in a different direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into a guarded attack stance.
Okay.
And so because I'm assuming he's gonna. I mean, looking from where I am, I obviously can't see behind me, and there's probably not anywhere to go anyway. So, and I can't see terribly well because, like I said, the lantern went off with. Sally, so.
Yeah. So. Remember that you have a minus 5% modifier, but the guarded stance, what it gives you exactly? It gives you...
It's negative 10% weapon skill, but a plus 10% to any dodges and parries.
Alright, very well. Alright, you bring up your hatchet, you prepare to defend yourself. You can hear Gennaro behind you yelling, "Murder di puttana!" And he just, he moves here and just stands side by side with you, ready to support. Meanwhile, the gore charges, and right now I'm going to roll 50-50 who it will charge. Actually, not that 50-50 is shit. Sorry, I need to roll one more time because it actually can charge Sally. So I'll need God, I'll need 1d12, I guess. Okay, 1 to 4 Sally. Am I doing this right? Yeah, I think so. Alright, it charges Gennaro. Bellowing. It's making a full charge. Charge is plus 10% to strike. If I remember correctly. Yeah, it's plus 10%, so I'm going to roll. And yeah, he actually managed to land a blow. He tore at Gennaro with his claws. Gennaro will try to parry it. And he did. He actually did. Andrew, saw that the beast would tore out his throat, but fortunately the young Tylian just put up his buckler, and the force of the blow was so strong that it actually drew sparks from the small metal shield. The gore is engaged. Now is the next round. Your declarations. Brian, what are you doing?
I want to set down the lantern and charge the gore.
Okay,
I don't know if I can get into combat this round. I doubt it, but
I will let you do it if you drop the lantern. But it's a risk.
what kind of chances am I dealing with it breaking?
Well, you don't really know. You're not an engineer.
I can't do that. I think in the pitch dark, this thing has an advantage because it could probably smell better than us. You know what I mean? They can still find us in the dark. We can't find it.
You're probably right.
So I'm gonna set down the lantern, and I guess I'll get into combat next round.
Okay, you set down the lantern, you turn around, and you prepare to engage the fiend.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stay in the guarded attack position and attack.
All right, guarded attack is a single action, right?
Right.
All right, so you attack the fiend. You have a plus 10% bonus and minus 5, so it's only and you're minus 10, so it's minus 15 total.
You said plus 10 and then minus 5 and then minus. That should only be minus 5.
Really? Oh, sorry. Yeah, but remember that you have minus 5 from you being nauseous.
Yeah, I thought that was for toughness bonus.
No, it's generally.
Oh, is it to everything?
Yeah, it's everything. Yeah.
Right. So it's minus 10 because I'm a second attacker. Or sorry, plus 10 because I'm a second attacker.
Yes.
Right? Then a minus 10 for a guarded action.
Yes.
Then minus 5 for being nauseous.
Yeah.
Is that it?
So it's still minus 5 only.
Just minus 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. My bad.
So
I was horrible
36. My weapon skill is 43, so I still hit.
Yeah, you've managed to hit. The beast will try to dodge. And I don't think it really did dodge. Nope, it did not. Nope, it did not. You've managed to strike it in the leg with your hatchet. Roll for damage.
And it's what's damage?
1d10 plus your strength because you're using your hand weapon.
Yeah. Okay.
Roll for Ulrich's Fury. 1d10. Oh, plus,
yeah, I rolled a 10 and then my strength bonus is 4.
You've rolled a 10, so roll for your weapon skill. Once again, because it's Ulrich's Fury actually. Your basic skill, weapon skill.
Which I hit.
You've managed.
Right. Yep.
Roll 1d10 one more time. Alright, so you've... Oh, holy crap. Yeah, you've... Oh my, it will hurt. It's 19 damage. Alright, it was basically like this. You've managed to find an opening. You've brought your hatchet down. You've severed the beast's leg completely
Nice.
on his thigh. The fiend fell to the ground, howling with pain and rage. You know, dark blood is just coming everywhere from its cut arteries in the leg. You've wasted no time, and all three of you just fell upon it with clubs and hatchet, and you've ended its miserable existence, completely annihilating the thing. Yeah, so somehow I knew that the goddamn charcoal burner would be the biggest killer in the party.
Nice.
That was epic. All right, so you've killed the beastman, and now you can see in the weak light that right next to the thing actually was the exit. On the other side of the room.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
Is there anything else of interest in the room?
Like I said, there's a table and there are some weird, some weird things. You're not exactly sure what they do. They are. You probably don't really want to know what they're for because they're creepy. They creep you
I
out.
want to get some evidence of the beast man. If there's a hand or a foot or something that's particularly beast man like that I can sever. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a head would be too much to drag in, but
Actually, if Gennaro
Not
would drag it.
necessarily.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean, if he can, if we can sever that head and drag it in, and
I can drag the head, yeah, but you need to cut it, yeah? Yeah.
Hey, Gennaro,
Yeah?
since this is the worst of what we're going to see down here, I think you should go upstairs and relieve this guy of all his valuables.
we can't get back in. The door's locked. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh.
Yeah, sorry, boss, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm thinking that, when the priest of Sigmar will burn him at the stake, maybe then we can, loot his house.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think this guy has any claim to it anymore.
Yeah. So, you're taking the Gore's head, I presume?
Yeah, if we can, yeah.
Yeah, you just, you've chopped at his neck a couple of times, and the head came off. It's disgusting. It's just this head of a goat with pointy teeth and disturbingly intelligent eyes. You can also see that it has the same symbol that's on the manuscript you have, branded on its forehead. Or rather cut with some form of blade.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can I search the rest of the room? Like, you said
Yes.
there was stuff up by a table.
But yeah, you come to the table. You don't need to roll. You come to the table. The table is you have a distinct suspicion that it's where Ostlander probably performed some form of experiments because the table is covered in old blood. It stinks horribly. The rest of these machines that are here, there are some amalgamations of metal and glass tubes and some weird pipes. You don't really want to know what they are for, you guess. They look like a mix of surgeon and torture devices. You can see that there are glass jars attached to them filled with dark red liquid. Perhaps it's blood. You're not really sure. You don't want to know. What's your next course of action?
I guess we should move on.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. So you go towards the exit. At the end of the corridor you face a wooden gate which has been barred from the outside. But the wood of the gate is quite damp and rotten, and probably it can be pried open. Gennaro just says that, yeah, can I break it, yeah. Maybe you want to lend me a hand, eh?
Yeah, do you want me to push on it or
Nah, just beat it like a cheap hooker.
start swinging my club? The weak
Yeah.
spots.
He's swinging his you're swinging his club. He's swinging his club. You, in no time, you break the rotten gate open, and actually, funnily, the corridor leads directly to the Marktplatz, not too far from the Black Boar, your tavern. And as luck would have it, there's a large group of drunken peasants just leaving the tavern. You can see.
I think the first thing we want to do, honestly, is head straight for the Temple of Sigmar, because if we walk past a group of drunk peasants carrying a beastman head and covered in blood, I suspect they're going to think that we're the cultists.
Let me find a sack, something to put it in. Like you stay here with it, and I'll go find something to put it in.
Don't you guys have a sack?
I think I got a backpack.
Okay. Because
I got a blanket and a backpack. Although I suspect the blanket probably would have been left at the room.
Well, actually, in my games, if you don't, tell me that you're doing something, I assume that you're not doing something. And so, since you did not tell me that you left your blanket in the room, you have it with you.
Okay.
Your blanket, if you want to use it.
Yeah, but do you really want to use your blanket on this thing?
I mean, here's the thing. I can buy a new blanket. I can't buy it not being torched at the stake as a heretic.
That's a worthy quote.
Yeah. I mean, if it'll help us cover it up and get it to where we need to go, I think that's totally.
I'll tell you what. You thing in one swing, I'll buy a new blanket for you. Drink and a blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Can we stop talking about the fucking blankets and just get our asses out of this place? Because I don't want to be torched.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright.
We need to get the mayor too.
You mean the Burgomeister?
Yeah, Burgomeister. Yeah, we need to get him too. Gennaro, can you go rouse him out of bed and bring him down to the Temple of Sigmar?
Yeah, with pleasure, boss.
Well, should we send him or should we send somebody else because he's carrying the head?
Oh, but you can carry the head in a blanket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. which is actually true when you think about it. Alright, so he gave you the head. Oh my god, Jesus. I really need to think about what the hell am I saying in this game.
In a wet blanket.
He passed you the head. Shit. He passed you the head of the beastman. And he went towards the mayor's house. Which is probably, just in the same place that he works in. So it's just right next to the Platz. Meanwhile, you guys go to the Temple of Sigmar, that is not far. You knock, I assume.
Yeah.
In a few seconds you can hear the priest's voice. Coming. Stop with the racket. He opens the door. He's in his, nightgown, actually. What is it? You know what time it is right now?
Yes, we do, Father. I assume that's the proper term, right? It's Father?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have some disturbing news that the church needs to know about.
Why are we covered in blood?
We'll get to that. Let's come inside. The Burgomeister should be here shortly to discuss this with us.
Very well. Come inside, but but be aware that this is the house of God. I will not allow for any blasphemy here.
Well, perhaps we shouldn't bring this inside. We need to keep this hut. Got it. We found some mutation.
Mutation?
Yeah, in the
heresy?
Yes, sir.
Massive amounts of heresy in the home of Oslander.
Massive. by the god, King.
Yeah, I guess at that point maybe I can pull up the blanket to show him the beastman head.
You do that? Alright.
Yeah.
You pull up the blanket, he looks like at the beastman head. He goes pale.
And I give him the scroll too.
What is... He looks at the symbol. This is extremely heretical. Very well.
Do you know the whereabouts of Oslander right now?
He's in the tavern. I would not permit you to come on the holy grounds with this blasphemous things. Wait for me outside. I'll grab my armor and my hammer. And then he just closes the door in front of you and goes back inside. Until he, by the time that he came to you again, dressed in a long red robe and a chainmail and carrying a warhammer, symbol of the Sigmarite religion, the Burgomeister and Gennaro came back. Burgomeister is still has his, he's dressed in a mix between his sleeping gown and and normal clothes. He yawns. What's this all about? Can't a man catch a few hours of sleep?
I think Oslander's success is due to some kind of deal with the dark powers.
Dark powers? Ostlander? Well, I hope you have something to prove it, young halfling.
Lift up the blanket and show him.
Ah!
Yeah.
Dark powers it is. The priest looks at him with his steely eyes and he says, "You know what must be done, Burgomeister. Ostlander will burn. I will see to it personally." Yeah. Right, so I allow for his arrest. Schlichters? Father? You can arrest the man. Very well. Schlichters, will you do this honor? It is you who found out this heresy.
We will surrender the suspect to you.
Very well. I will go with you, of course. Sigmar willing. He won't oppose us and face a just trial.
We can only hope.
Indeed we do.
At this point, I guess we set off, right?
Yeah.
Should we arrest his guards on the way over there?
Well, no, we're going to the tavern where he is.
Yeah, but his guards could be making all the evidence disappear back at his residence.
I think we've got plenty of evidence here with us that, and the guards don't necessarily know the place has been broken into. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid if we go do the guards first, that one of them might get away and warn him, and he might, disappear.
So let's get to the Black Boar.
Well, his guards can just be hired muscle. They did not necessarily need to know about his heretical dealings, but they would have to be they will be questioned, of course. The will of Sigmar demands it.
Yeah,
So,
let's go get Ostlander first, I think.
very well. Basically, you go to the tavern, the Black Boar. As you enter it, there are lots of drunken people inside. Of course, divided into small groups. You can see the bartender and you can see Johann eating something and drinking. When he sees you, he comes over to you. The priest of Sigmar enters and just, moves, positions himself so that he won't be seen immediately. The Burgomeister is not with you. Well, he probably returned home, since this is not something for him to, to participate in. Johann comes over to you and, he looks at the priest of Sigmar. So, what's up, you guys? I see you've came back.
We're here to arrest Ostlander.
What? Why?
We'll discuss that later. Let's take care of this first.
Egil also comes to you. Egil the dwarf.
Which man is Ostlander?
Well, that man. Should I expect trouble?
I hope not.
Probably.
Alright.
We're here to arrest him.
Yeah. So at that point, the priest of Sigmar comes to the front of the tavern and bellows, "Ostlander! In the name of Sigmar Heldenhammer, our Father and Lord and Savior, I declare thee hereticus, and I place the judgment of the God King upon you." Ostlander, who is pretty drunk right now, you can see, he stands and, "Oh yeah? And what are you going to do about it, you bold fuck?" You see that some of his followers, there are quite a few, also stand up, angrily glaring at the priest and you, but they are not drawing weapons. I mean, he is a priest of Sigmar after all, so they're not that stupid or that desperate yet. Egil, meanwhile, signals his men that are by the bar, and you can see that Kaufmann's men also get up as they see the opportunity to to get rid of Ostlander, perhaps. The priest of Sigmar looks at you. "This is your victory, Schlichters. I will allow you to arrest this man in the name of Sigmar."
Johann's the one with manacles, right?
Yeah, I have the manacles actually. Yeah.
Yeah. At least one of I guess Johann and I should go up with the manacles out and explain to him that he is under arrest for heresy.
Yeah, but there are still quite a lot of guys there. Maybe we should, I don't know, show some proof that he's a heretic, because drunk or not, they will try to oppose us.
In that case, I pull the blanket off and throw the beastman head at the center.
Everyone is like, "Ooh!"
And I unroll the scroll.
When you unroll the scroll, you can feel the priest of Sigmar's hand on your wrist. It's just like iron. "Don't show this blasphemy here, and give me the scroll.
Okay.
You don't know what it contains and what it represents. It's the heresy
Okay.
of highest sort." And he just puts the scroll in a bag right on his belt. At this time, even Ostlander's fellows are moving away from him. He looks at you, he looks drunkenly at the head, he looks at the priest. It's like, "What? I just wanted to find the secret of immortality. Huh? Is it too much to ask for?" "Arrest this man, Schlichters!" yells the priest of Sigmar.
Let's go nicely, Ostlander.
He tries to struggle a bit, but he doesn't even reach for his weapon. You basically just put the manacles on the man, and you take him out of the tavern, to the applause of everyone inside, including Kaufmann and his followers. You go outside. You bring the Ostlander to city's jail, which is located under the town hall. You throw him inside. The priest of Sigmar, he took the head of the beastman from you, just dumped it in an alley, threw some oil on it, and set it alight, speaking prayer, that safeguards the soul from the dark forces. He turns to you and says, "That was well done, my friends. Thank you. In the name of all that is holy, and in the name of the Empire and our Emperor Karl Franz. You've done a very well job."
Lucas's.
What?
The glory is all Lucas's. He felled the beast.
Oh, really?
It's a lucky blow.
Let me bless your weapon.
Thank you very much, Father.
He takes your axe, he anoints it with holy water, he says a small prayer. Basically, your axe for the next, for one fight with either the undead or or beastmen or demons, will have a plus 10% modifier to hit. For one fight only. Yeah. I'm telling you this, of course, out of character, because in game you just saw that he sprinkled it with water and told a small prayer. That was it.
I thank him for it,
All right.
or for the blessing. And what time is it, by the way?
Well, it's very late. You're all tired. You're extremely tired. It's in the middle. It's the middle of the night, and you guess that it's probably a good idea to go to catch a few hours of sleep at least before you move on to, you know, to other things.
Yeah, I'm guessing the dealing with his home would be the domain of the priest and the church as far as searching it for more. Or is that something we're going to need to do?
I think we should do that now.
Well, that's my point. If that's our task, we do need to go do it now.
Yeah.
But what you want to? What do you want to do now?
Well,
Rob his house.
well, I didn't say rob. I said collect more evidence. But if that is our domain, yeah, that's what we need to do now. If that's the priest's domain, if Sal and Gennaro want to go.
Well, the priest, he says that he'll basically take a few men from the city, and he will, because I assume that you told him about the rest of the books and manuscripts there. Yeah, so he tells you that he will go there with a few of stronger men from the town, and just search the whole house for any heretical material. But he did not say that you can't come with him and that you can do your stuff. I mean, he probably doesn't care if you loot the place, unless it will be, of course, if you're just going to take out his furniture and and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going for valuable stuff that could be fenced off.
All right. All right. So you do that, but first I have to excuse you for a second because I need to make myself some more yerba mate. All right?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I could use a restroom break.
Yeah, me too. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'm back.
Alright, I'm here. You guys back?
I'm here. I don't think Andrew is yet.
Alright. So, how's the game going so far for you, Brian?
Good.
Alright. You're having fun?
Yeah.
That's good, that's good.
What about you?
Yeah, I have a great fun actually, you know. I haven't played Warhammer Fantasy with my group for quite some time now because I was getting tired of this system actually, but well, and I wasn't sure I was going to have fun running this for you when Aiden was I mean when he made the proposition, but I'm having a lot of fun actually.
I think D100 is the best system, just simplicity. Like, you don't have to know anything about the game to understand 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, D100 is great, but honestly, I'm a huge fan of Old World of Darkness and its rules.
The dice pools, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not quite ready to start back yet because I'm making I'm heating something up for the kids. So
no worries, no
I
worries.
need to go back again in a minute.
We'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I always liked the dice pool system with World of Darkness too, but I agree that the simplicity of 100 percentile based systems like this and like Call of Cthulhu and stuff is really great too.
Yeah, I haven't really played Call of Cthulhu. I mean, I think I played it once many years ago, but I was just a kid back there, so you know I couldn't really appreciate the source material.
Yeah, a lot of Warhammer Fantasy roleplay was lifted from Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, I know that they were basically that they took a lot of inspiration from the mythos.
Well, I mean, just even from the rules.
Yeah,
they're both percentile systems. They both rely heavily on insanity. They're both ones in which your characters often don't survive very long.
Yeah, but of course that's actually quite funny. I mean, when I've played Warhammer Fantasy, seriously for the first time, because of course I used to play it as a kid, but well, it wasn't a serious game back there. I've played it seriously, I think for the first time in 2008. I've quickly understood that it's not a good idea to attach yourself to your character.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a lot of my players, they've just raged against it. They wanted their characters to last forever, even though I was just telling them that, guys, this is not the game like this. You're not going to be heroes who will save the princess and and the emperor. You're going to die in a gutter. You're going to die, with your pants around your ankles by goblin spear when you try to take a dump in the forest.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, usually it was just like this. I mean, of course, not exactly, but in a very similar fashion. One of my players had this character. He loved so much. He was a major in the Nostland army, and
Hold on, I gotta go. Keep talking though.
Right. And and he fancied himself that he's going to make this epic level badass like D&D paladin or something, and in the end this character just died in a forest after a failed surgery actually. Yeah, because he got his leg crushed and the field surgeon just had to chop it off with his greatsword. And this player made one bad roll, and his major, he died. But I mean, I like the character a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think it was probably his best, at least in Warhammer Fantasy. But yeah, it gave me a lot to think about, you know. He started as a hero with a magical sword, nonetheless, and he ended up dead in some shithole Nosland, you know, just buried under a tree, literally buried under a tree in Nosland.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really sad if Sally gets killed.
Yes. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not pulling any punches, but I'm not going to run this game for you like I used to run games for my group. You know, back in the day, I was a killer GM. I still have a document file in my house with all the dead character sheets, basically. And it's very, very, very thick. I
mean, I play with self-preservation in mind. I'm trying not to take too many risks.
Yeah, that's the thing in this game, that you really need to think. No, don't take unnecessary risk unless you're a Slayer, I guess.
Yeah.
But even Slayers are not suicidal. You know, they want to find a glorious death, but they don't exactly, you know. They want that's the thing. Yeah, they want a glorious death. They want a shitty death. At the end.
They might run away from 100 orcs in order to fight some ogre that lives 50 miles away or something.
Exactly that. You know, just like in, I don't know if you read Gotrek and Felix.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, when there was a glory to be had, Gotrek would of course wait to grab it, but he wasn't a suicidal moron that you know, just jumped into a sea of goblins. That's essentially how you should roleplay a Slayer.
Like the Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is
fighting a bloodthirster at the end, and they took the airship to get up into the Chaos Wastes.
It was awesome. I mean, I love the old Gotrek and Felix novels by William King.
I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, and I can talk for days on Gotrek and Felix.
Yeah, I mean, Gotrek and Felix are. I still have like 2 missing omnibuses, I think, and a couple of shorter stories. But the thing is that after Nathan Long took it over,
his first book was not very good. Orc Slayer.
No,
after
actually,
that,
it was great. I loved Orc Slayer because it was generally creepy. After that, it went down the hill for me.
I'll say I thought after that he got into the character better. The problem I had with Orc Slayer is that it was basically just a generic D&D novel starring Gotrek and Felix. But the guy that replaced him was just flat out awful.
There were a few guys. I think you're talking about David Geimer, I believe.
No, it was. Hold on. Let me flip over to my web browser real quick.
Because there were a couple of authors.
But the one who took over the novels versus the short stories. Let's see.
But you know, the biggest problem with Gotrek and Felix books with later books was that basically when they've retconned the Storm of Chaos, which was, in my opinion, the stupidest thing you could ever do, because, well, look at the end times, yeah, and then tell me that Storm of Chaos was shitty. They've also retconned Gotrek and Felix in a way that their later adventures were. They weren't really set in stone. The author himself thought that, oh yeah, basically, you know, you can place them anywhere in the chronology.
Well, yeah. What happened? I think it was after. It was either after Orc Slayer or
Elf Slayer.
Yeah, it might have been that where they come back and they've been gone from the old world for 20 years.
And so it's Orc Slayer. Yeah, it's Orc Slayer, basically.
It might have. I don't remember exactly which, and then so they basically left them room to set other stories in that middle period, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It was Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds. Yeah, every third word. The book. The problem with the book is that he did like 2 of them. Although I'm only seeing the Serpent Queen and Road of Skulls. The problem with them is that it looks like it wasn't written chronologically, as far as like he wrote chapter 1, then he wrote chapter 2,
okay,
because he reuses the same phrases in lumps, and so it looks like he went back and like re-edited them out of order or something, and he just like, so there'll be like 4 or 5 chapters where he'll just keep reusing the same phrases over and over and over again, and it's really weird. And like he always refers to armor as I can't pronounce the piece of armor correctly, a cuirass.
Cuirass, yeah, cuirass.
Yeah. He always refers to him as that, never as just armor. Everybody was always wearing a cuirass, and it was always the cuirass was hid, and just reuses that over and over again. It's just really weird.
Yeah, but it's like with Ben Counter in Warhammer 40k, and his overlapping fields of fire. He puts it in his every book. Yeah, there are non-stop overlapping fields of fire everywhere. He really likes to talk about it.
The Kinslayer and the Slayer books weren't bad. I thought David
Geimer.
Yeah,
Geimer.
I thought he got the character reasonably well. The only thing the 2 things I didn't like about it is
end times.
Well, yeah. But have you read the books?
Yeah, I've read the Slayer, the last. Actually, I thought it wasn't bad.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna spoil anything. So he kills a couple of the characters, Ichold Hellbrass and
the previous
the
characters.
Troll King.
Yeah,
and then in the end times books, it's completely different. In fact, the Troll King doesn't die, and I forget what happens to Ichold Hellbrass, but yeah, so it's like, but why are you tying this in then if you're not tying it in? And then obviously the very ending I thought was just stupid, but
well, yeah, the ending. I mean, we all knew that one day it would just end. They would they had to kill him.
But they didn't kill him. That's
yeah, that's the thing. They didn't kill him. It was written really, really. Oh God, sorry. It was written really, really badly, but it mainly had to do with the end times as a whole,
Yeah.
And because nothing that came from the end times, maybe except Vermintide, is worth anything more than savage beating with a hammer. Yeah. Okay. I would like to talk with you sometime later about books with you guys because it's a really cool thing. But we should go back to our game right now. Christ, sorry, I'm. Alright, I'm better now, thank you. You go to the house of Ostlander, together with the priest of Sigmar and a few burly men from the town, with torches. The priest basically tells you, he asks you where Ostlander kept his books. He and his men begin to just, to ramshackle the whole thing. And that gives you ample time for exploration and some looting. So roll for search.
Oh.
Alright.
Can I lock that one? Because this is kind of important.
Yeah, of course, you can reroll it if you want.
Intelligence is 40.
Okay, I've rolled for Gennaro and
roll?
Johan, but unfortunately I'm going to roll for Johan one more time. What the hell?
47, yeah, I failed.
Oh, Christ,
failed mine.
I've rolled twice 72.
I could only use 1 luck?
For this roll, yeah. For alright, so who rolled? Alright, 47, 49. Andrew, you can use your luck if you like.
Yeah, I might as well. I did worse that time.
Oh.
And it was a catastrophic failure too.
Okay, basically you've hit yourself in the head.
Yeah.
But
Stepped on a nail.
nothing bad happened. Yeah, I mean, all right, you've lost 1 HP. What the hell?
Got bit by a spider.
yeah. You've put your hand in a jar and there was this giant spider inside. He bit you in the toe. I mean, in the finger. You've thrown the jar down and just squashed the fucker. But alright, I'm going to let it have your victory. You found a total sum of 9 gold crowns and 21 silver coins. You can distribute it however you like between you. I'm leaving it up to you.
Lucas found that?
No, it's like all of
Everybody.
you found this. When you've put, it basically took you, well, more than an hour. I mean, you know, going through all his house, and you found that much money.
So we got about 2 gold and
No, 9
5.
gold. 9 gold.
No, but I mean like 2 gold, 5 or 6 silver per person.
Yeah, something like this.
What was the total? It was 9 gold.
And 21
much
silver. So it's basically 10 gold and 1 silver, because 20 silver is 1 gold.
Okay. So we could do. Let's see. 5 silver.
How do you want to distribute the money?
You want to do it like that, Lucas?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 2 gold, 1 silver.
Okay, so I assume that you've, distributed the
put
money.
that on my character sheet.
Basically, Andrew, don't roll that one, hit point loss, because after you go to sleep, it will regenerate.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but the spider was really big and really nasty. Anyway, after you finished searching the house, the priest of Sigmar came back to you. He told you that he was downstairs. I mean, that he was in the Ostlander's study, and he was downstairs. You know, he's purple, basically. His face is just red with fury. I can't believe that a man like Ostlander was a heretic, and a heretic of such magnitude. We are going to burn this house down. So I suggest you leave it right now, because we can't let this foul den of heresy remain in this town.
Absolutely.
Very well. You can see that the rest of the men from the town, they are also exiting the premises, and you follow them.
Yep.
After you went outside, it's like 3 a.m. in the morning. You saw that the last 2 men just poured oil on racks, on Ostlander's big painting over the fireplace. Basically, they've poured oil everywhere, and then they just threw torches inside. The priest tells you that they will stay here to make sure that the fire won't spread to nearby buildings. But other than that, your job is done.
Is Ostlander to be burned as well?
Ostlander will be tried by the witch hunters, for whom I will call tomorrow. For now, he stays in jail.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
It is I who thank you, noble warriors. Sigmar, guide your hand.
And you as well.
Yeah, you're like really tired, especially
Yeah.
you Andrew. The nausea went away, but
Yeah.
you just want to lay down and sleep.
Yeah, probably a good idea to get back and sleep.
Yeah. So you go back to Black Boar. At this time of night, there are only a couple of patrons still drinking and talking. You see that there are so few people that there are no more groups. Agu is preparing to close the whole thing. He tells you that the 3 drunks are still tied in his cellar. There were no problems. He also thanks you for finding out a heretic in this town. It will probably help a lot to restore unity thanks to your actions. I thank you in the name of my ancestors.
Thank you. Since you know this town well. What do you think we should do with the 3 people in the cellar
Well,
to keep that unity?
well, I think that after you do, and he speaks quietly, Kaufman in any way you'll be able to. Maybe then they should face justice. They've killed Carl, so we can't let them go. But
What about Kaufman?
well, he is one of the of the 2 who also broke the unity of this town, and I don't trust the man. Right now that Ostlander is gone, he will probably want to amass more power for himself.
Hey, I got the postman coming to my door. I'll be right back.
All right,
Sorry.
no worries. Be right back.
Yeah, we currently don't have any leads into Kaufman, really, do we?
Sorry about that. My daughter's sleeping. I did not want him ringing the doorbell.
Michael, you there?
All right, I'm here.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. My daughter was sleeping. I did not want him ringing the doorbell.
No worries. Anyway, so remember that this town is basically depending on Kaufman and his supplies. That gives him a lot of power and a lot of influence.
How do we get in with Kaufman, do you think?
Well, tomorrow he will receive one of his shipments. This gives you ample opportunity to find out a lot about him.
Okay. I forgot about that, sorry.
No worries. Well, we did last time played, 2 weeks ago, so no biggie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to throw out the rest of these guys, and then I'm going to catch a nap. Tomorrow is another day. I suggest you do the same.
Yeah, we gotta be up bright and early before dawn.
Postman's back. I'm sorry.
All right. Right, you do that. You take your break. Remember that you don't pay for food, you don't pay for lodging. If you manage to save this city, we'll all be in your debt forever.
Let's see what we can do with Kaufman in the morning. I appreciate all your help, Egu.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm back again. I'm sorry about that.
a dwarf's gotta do what a dwarf's gotta do. Catch some sleep.
I hate to do it, but we should take watch. I know everybody's tired, but...
Whoa. I'm gonna take first watch. Yeah, first watch for me.
Yeah, I'll take the last watch.
Okay, I guess. What?
Johan asks you, you think that Ostlander's men will want vengeance?
Maybe. Or maybe Kaufman's looking into
might
it.
want to make sure the same doesn't happen to him.
Well, from what I've gathered, the Schlichters' position is quite, sacred one. I don't think they would try to hurt us. But it's your choice. On the other hand,
I'd rather be on the safe side. I don't know entirely what we're dealing with here.
Right. Alright, so let's take watches. I guess.
I'll go second.
Right. Okay, so basically you just you've planned your your watch schedule. You go to sleep after eating a small meal prepared for you by Egil. I mean, just some cheese and bread because it's very late and he obviously won't cook for you at this time.
Yeah.
But you wolf it down nonetheless. You wash it down with some watered down ale to help you go to sleep, and you sleep, and you all have nightmares. about horrible goatmen and 8 pointed stars. So when you wake up early, you really don't feel like you've catched any sleep at all. Your eyes are red, your cheeks are puffy, you ache. But a Schlichter's gotta do what a Schlichter's gotta do, I guess. So you wake up about 11 a.m. Because you've been really tired, and you wouldn't even be able to be roused before.
What time is the shipment?
You don't know that, but when you go down to the main hall, you see that there's a bit of commotion in the main hall of the tavern. You see Burgomaster, you see the priest of Sigmar, you see a lot of people actually, and from where you're looking, there are still a lot of people outside the tavern waiting around the entrance. You see Egil, and there's also Kaufman and his men, and you see a figure standing in the middle of the tavern. A man, powerful built, in a long brown coat and a top hat. He's got he wears a cuirass. There's a silver rapier strapped to his belt and a pair of flintlock pistols. And on his neck is a symbol of a silver hammer. His face looks stern, like chiseled in stone. You know who this man is, basically.
I'm gonna take my hat off.
Yeah, just as you are coming down, Burgomaster points at you and says, "Yeah, these are the men who captured the heretic." The man looks at you. His eyes are like steel. "So, you're the ones whom I should thank." He walks over to you. "I am Emil Coralson, Templar of Holy Sigmar, of the Holy Order of Sigmar. I was summoned to this town by the priest. I wanted to congratulate you on a job well done."
Thank you.
"Oh,
I was not the one who felled the beast, but it was quite a sight."
well, you've managed to pull out through and alive. The
Thanks
beasts
be to
of-
Sigmar.
Yes.
Of course, as usual. The beasts of chaos are not easily vanquished. The Empire has a great debt to you. The men will be trialed in due time. I will remain in the area until then. From what I've heard, you're the Schlichters of this town, and that your work is not yet done. Preserving the unity of the Empire is one of the most important things, as Sigmar himself brought unity to these lands thousands of years ago. So now it must be... So? What?
And it's an honor to be a Schlichter.
Of course it is, of course. You're doing the God's work. So I just wanted to say that I'll be around, and when you finish doing what you do, then we'll run the trials. And he raises his voice so that everyone here can hear that. They can hear this. People are like, they're just looking at him with a mix of fear and awe. It's not every time that one of the Hounds of Sigmar visits a small town like this. But you're not really sure if that's a very good thing, because, where witch hunters go, flames soon follow. Anyway, he goes out, and in a couple of seconds you can hear, him riding on a horse to the edge of town. Most people just, they once again divide into a few groups, although fewer this time, and begin, to just trade gossip, talk loudly. Egil has his hands full, him and his servants, with serving all the beer and ale. You can see Kaufman and his men looking very smug and sure of themselves, basically, right now. He's the only major player in town. What are you doing?
Breakfast.
Breakfast and drink.
Breakfast and drink. All right. So you sit at the table, all of you. Egil brings you drink and some fine food. Mainly, he brings you onions in goose broth and some spicy beet pie, as well as ale with eggs. You eat, you drink, you restore your strength. You can see that. Yeah?
Can I mosey over to Kaufman?
Okay.
I want to congratulate him.
On what exactly?
Brighter days in business that lie ahead.
Kaufman looks at you and says, "Oh yes, yes. Thank you very much. I wanted to congratulate you, noble halfling, on discovering this heretic scam. I always knew Ostander was up to no good, and look, I was proven right." And he says this very loud so that all people can hear him, and they're like, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yes, I don't think that's very admirable to turn to the ruinous powers for financial gain. There's plenty of other ways to do that.
Of course. An honest man of the Empire does not need the help of dark gods to make a fortune, and help his fellows, of course.
I want to raise my glass and say, to opportunities.
To opportunities, and to Karl Franz. To Karl Franz! To Karl Franz! To Karl Franz! And everyone, just cheering, Karl Franz! Karl Franz! Karl Franz! The whole tavern just begins to yell the name of the current emperor. You come back to your table. Gennaro just looks at him and says, yeah, boss. I think that Kaufman man is up to no good. I think we should, whack him in the head. Yeah.
I think one of us should keep an eye on his whereabouts today, while the rest of us check out this shipment. See where he goes, what he does, what he owes his success to.
Yeah, but what if he goes, to collect his shipment personally?
Then I guess we'll all be in the same place.
Alright. Very well. Right, so you're just waiting for him to do something. You can try to ask when the shipment will be collected.
We know where it's going to be, right?
What?
We know where the shipment's going to take place, right?
At which time, yes, but not when. I mean, where.
Oh, we don't know where. Okay.
No, you don't know where.
So we know when, but not where.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we need to wait and see if a few of his men break off from the group.
All right. I mean, they break off pretty fast when they finish eating. Kaufman and few of his men just they stand up and they go out.
Okay, I'm gonna discreetly follow. Is there like an apple or something around I can grab?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take an apple, just kind of casually walk around, acting like I'm looking at market stalls and stuff.
All right. You see that Kaufman, just walks all around the Marktplatz, chatting with people, basically presenting himself as the good guy Kaufman. Yeah. He asks for prices. He buys some fruit. He buys roasted sausage. He basically presents himself as a paragon of society. So that's what happens.
Is anyone else following him?
He has two men with him, basically two what looks like two bodyguards, but other than that, no.
I mean, like in our group, like, am I the only one that's tailing him?
Yes.
I think it would have been a little weird if we all stood up and walked out when he did.
All right. So what are you guys doing? I mean, I guess Sally is following him, and the rest of you.
I think does he still have some men in the tavern?
Well, like I said, it's not that they are his men; they are his followers. There are people in this town who basically
I
just
meant people that were clearly his employees.
no, his employees, the two of them are with him right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think after a little bit longer, the rest of us probably get up and go back out and
All right.
we don't want to make it suspicious,
Sure thing. All right. So you wait a while longer, and then you join Sally and basically just tail the bastard. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you do this for like 2 hours. When suddenly you see that he gestures towards his two men, and they literally walk towards one of the roads leading from the town, leading into the forest. 3 of them. It's 3 p.m. right now, and they just walk towards the forest. What are
Just the two.
3. Kaufman and 2 of his men.
Oh, all of them. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to follow. I mean, sun's gonna be coming down soon, but we got to see what they do.
Well, not really soon. Remember that it's summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I agree. We gotta follow them.
Okay. So you follow them. I assume you're trying to stay hidden.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know what time it is. It's rolling time. I'm rolling for Gennaro. Oh my. Okay, I'm using Gennaro's fate point.
Is
Oh yeah, 11, baby. You're having bonuses. I'm not telling you how much, but you're having bonuses. Right. Brian, Andrew.
Yeah.
All right.
6.
Each one of you. Oh, you rolled 2d20. All right. All right. Each one of you.
So fast.
Basically, you're stealthy. You're really stealthy. Like the forest road, it's snaking, left and right. There are a lot of bushes, so you are able to stay hidden. At one point, you see that Kaufman heads straight to the forest with a small scroll in hand. He repeatedly refers to it when making his way through the forest, because at one point he and his men just leave the road and went straight to the forest. The forest, which is unusually thick and has no apparent traveling paths. You follow him, and after about 1 hour of wandering around, Kaufman reaches a small clearing. You see that on this clearing is an old wooden cart, rotten and covered with moss. Kaufman and his men basically just rest there for a while. They sit down, they uncork their water canteens, they eat some smoked meat and biscuits. You meanwhile observe them from the clearing. What are you doing? What are you planning to do?
Stay hidden.
Yeah. Stay hidden and stay watching, but not just at them, because they're look like they might be waiting for somebody. So
should we split up? Like maybe 20 feet apart from each other.
I don't know if that's a good idea, says Johan. I mean, we don't know what they are waiting for and from which direction they will come.
Yeah, I agree with Johan on that.
We should stick together.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I think we stay hidden and just keep watching. But not, like I said, not just directly at them too. We kind of, it's like I said, they look like they're waiting for somebody. So.
All right. So you're waiting. So you wait, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You wait a while. It's hard to tell how long. I mean, well, not too long actually. It's less than half an hour. When suddenly, from the other side of the clearing, 6 goblins arrive. One of them carries an ornate walking cane, signaling him to be the leader, you guess, while 5 others are equipped with rusty blades and short bows. You see that Kaufman's men immediately put their hands on their weapons, but they do not draw them, although you can see the tension in their movements. Goblins do the same. They have their weapons at the ready. Leader and Kaufman walk up to one another, and to your astonishment, you see that they greet one another respectfully. You can hear, they speak really in really low voices, but you can, hear the goblin. Well, he probably uses Reichspiel, although some form of rather, butchered form of Reichspiel in his squeaky voice. They chat a little, and they almost seem like old friends. It is obviously some kind of business meeting between the two.
I want to whisper, if we attack right now, the goblins are going to strike Kaufman.
But there are 6 goblins.
Yeah, but for the time being, Kaufman's men are going to be on our side until we overpower the goblins.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. And on top of
the goblins will think they're being set up.
But there are 6 goblins. We don't know if the leader... I mean, I've heard stories of goblin leaders that they can wield incredible power.
Yeah, we don't know if this guy is a magic user or what. I think we just keep watching.
Okay.
You see that Kaufman produces a money purse, pours some gold crowns onto his hand to show it to the leader. The leader nods to his guards, who pull a small cart onto the clearing. It's hard to tell what's inside it, as it is covered with a very dirty blanket. Kaufman takes a look under the blanket before handing the money purse over to the leader, who sits down and starts counting every single gold crown inside the purse before giving a nod and leaving with his guards. You see that they just, they just go into the forest. So,
maybe we should wait. We should follow Kaufman back for 20 or 30 minutes, and then before he gets back into town, we confront him and say, you could deal with us, you could deal with the witch hunter.
I don't know. Again, I think that's...
It's 3 guys.
Yeah, it's 3 guys, but I suspect if Kaufman can deal with a goblin, he's probably no slouch. And outside of game, obviously, combat is not something you really want to get into.
I'm not sure we'll have to. We outnumber them.
But barely. All they have to do is send a guy running off to bring back a larger group. I say we follow them and see where they're taking that.
Okay.
It's your call, guys. But, we should watch out. I mean, if these forests have goblins in them, staying too long here is very risky, says Johan.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Let's follow Kaufman some more.
So you're waiting for Kaufman to return to Nordfels.
Yeah, well, we're gonna trail him back. Yeah.
All right. So basically, the 2 men, they take the cart. Obviously, there is no mule or horse, so they need to drag it. Kaufman, of course, is walking by them. Once again, he pulls out the scroll and consults it, and they disappear into the forest. Roll one more time for concealment, please. Oh man, Gennaro is awesome. Oh. Alright. Oh, maybe not so, okay. Right, so I guess that was right. Andrew, you've rolled?
Yeah, 18.
18, alright. All of you managed to stay hidden. You follow the three men. Now just let me make one more roll, I guess. Okay. I need to just make one roll, and we shall see. Alright. Fortunately, it went well for you. Basically, after an hour and a half, they returned to the town. You see that that he and his men just returned to the town. They bring the cart towards his house, which has a small shed, to which all three men enter. Basically, what's next? Nobody intercepts Kaufman, other than you saw that many people, they greet him, they ask him a few things, if he brought some supplies. You can clearly see that the fact that Ostlander is no longer, around, makes him the prime savior of the town.
Should we go get the witch hunter?
As you can probably tell, I'm hesitant to do rash things. First off, I don't know that the witch hunters are terribly concerned with orcs and goblins.
I mean,
and so the problem
roll
is,
for intelligence. Roll for your knowledge empire, common knowledge empire.
which I failed.
I failed too.
Okay, I'll roll with Johan. Johan basically wrote and says, "You do know that consorting with greenskins is against everything that Sigmar stood for. Wasn't he known as Hammer of the Goblins?"
Yeah, he chased off the greenskins.
Yes. So I guess that Witch Hunter would not be happy to hear that one of the most respected citizens of this town is basically having dealings with the greenskins. But the problem is we don't have any evidence for that. Of that.
But the witch hunter would have the authority to just walk into his house and find the evidence.
If there is any evidence.
Yeah, but I mean, if what's in that, first of that scroll could just be a map, and if that, if he just brought just normal goods, if that's just grains of barley or something, they're gonna.
Well,
we've tipped
maybe
our
the witch
hand.
hunter will have a suggestion then. Like, say we don't have concrete evidence right now. What do you suggest we do?
Witch hunters aren't known for their subtlety.
Well, I know. I mean, if he wants to go charging in, I'll be right behind him. But I just don't want to be the one charging in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe we wait until a point when because Kaufman doesn't have guards, right? I mean, the like his house doesn't have guards. Like that's what we learned with all the gossip. It was just Ostlander. I mean, I think we could probably break into that shed, or get a better idea of what it is he's bringing back from the goblins first.
Okay. It's broad daylight, though.
Well, I mean, I don't mean right now. I mean,
It's about 6 p.m.
We go back, we have dinner. Maybe we leave somebody to watch the shed to see if they've, emptied it out. And then,
Yes.
after dark.
Yeah, maybe after dark we should, check out his shed. Yeah?
Okay, Gennaro, you stay here and just watch and see who goes in and out.
Alright,
I'll come
boss.
back with some food, and we'll just hang out here until dark.
Yeah, you're really hungry, basically, a trip to the forest, a 3-hour trip to the forest actually made you hungry, pretty hungry.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some food and bring it back to Gennaro.
All right. So you see that Gennaro just went into a smaller, a small alley that overlooks the house of Kaufman, and he watches it. You come back to the tavern. You see that there are quite a lot of people. Once again, there's a huge group of Kaufman supporters sitting in their usual place. There are also those who once supported Ostlander, but now they're just sitting on the opposite end. There's Egil, of course, and there's a witch hunter sitting in a corner, with no one around him because everyone is scared of him. He sips on a glass of brandy and just looks with disdain at everyone in the tavern, looking grim, of course. Egil sees you, he walks over to you. Oh, you've returned. You probably would like something to eat, huh?
That'd be nice. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Take a seat. I'm going to.
My friend Gennaro too. He's.
Oh, so something with to
something
take.
we can take to him. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. I'll prepare something. Have a seat.
Thank you.
You see that your usual table. You've noticed that people know where you like to sit, and as Schlichters, your table is always free. Egil returns to you with some mutton and sage pie and some ale. He also prepared some food for Gennaro and packed it with in a cloth. You eat. The food is, as usual, very good, even for a relatively simple meal like that. So you saw that when you've entered the witch hunter, he tasked you with his gaze, but then he looks around the tavern, just sitting there.
Can you put his next drink on my tab?
Of course. You think
I would have guessed the witch hunter does not have a tab.
yeah. No,
it's just tribute. It's a kind gesture.
Egil basically tells you that witch hunter pays for all his drinks and meals. Which you're surprised that he does that, but Of course, you see that he came over to him. He's one of the few people in town who doesn't seem to be afraid of the witch hunter. Maybe because he's a dwarf. He placed a stein of ale in front of him and pointed to you. You see that the witch hunter, he tipped his hat in your direction, still unsmiling, and then he began to sip his ale. The atmosphere in the tavern is very nervous with this man around. You can see, people are talking in hushed voices and throwing frightened glares towards the Temple of Sigmar. So you finished eating your meal, and I guess you're going now to Gennaro to fetch him some food.
Okay.
All right. Gennaro is still where you left him. Of course, he wolves down the food that you've brought him. He's a big man, so he eats a lot. And he says, boss. Yeah, I saw the Kaufman man and his two cronies. They left the house, like, I don't know, half an hour ago.
Which direction did they go?
I think they went to the market, yeah? Yeah, they went to the market.
Did they take Did they take the cart with them?
No. They went to the market with some like packages, but they did not take the cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay here with the cart. I'm gonna go check out the market and see what's going on.
All right, boss. No worries. So what are you going to do?
I need to make it over to the market. I want to put my hood up.
Okay. I mean,
Kinda make
you
it
do
look
know
like
that
that.
you're the only halfling in town, practically. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. You're still quite recognizable.
I want to try and find a crowd of people to
Mm,
stand
so you try
next
to
to it.
blend in. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll for agility.
I'm gonna be right back while he's doing this.
Ooh, nice. You've managed to blend in with relatively easy. So now what's your plan?
Can I spot a Kaufman in the crowd?
Yeah, roll for perception. You have big bonuses, so don't worry. You spotted him without problems. You spotted him and two of his men. You see that they are moving from from a stand to stand, distributing the apparently foodstuffs.
Okay.
You can hear Kaufman saying, "This is the finest meat I've managed to procure from Talheim itself. It's the choice. Is the choice. These are the choicest cuts of cows and pigs, and and people say, "Oh, real meat, cow meat, it's pork." Oh, they're just basically like they're very happy that he's bringing them quality meat. Of course, he collects from every vendor. He collects quite a nice sum of money for this. You can see
Can I walk in like as he's doing this and smell the meat?
without being noticed.
I don't mind if I'm noticed at this point.
Yeah, of course you can. You can.
Yeah.
So you wander towards Kaufman. You smell the meat. Well, it smells like meat.
Are there any joints or anything that don't look like it's from an animal?
Let me tell you this: you're not anatomist.
Okay.
For you, this is just the meat. For all you knew, this could be the beastman's meat, and you probably still would not see the difference. It looks good. It looks fresh.
Okay. I set it back down and I just look at Kaufman.
He looks at you and he says, "Oh, Master Halfling, would you like to buy some fine meat from Talheim?"
Talbheim.
Of course. I have the best connections.
Of course. So, what is this piece here? And I pick up a piece.
Oh,
Like,
this is a cow's shank.
Cow shank.
Yes.
Okay.
Next week I will bring, and he raises his voice so that everyone can hear. I will bring the cattle from Averland, and they are all, "Ooh, Averland! I've heard that Averlanders have the best cows in the Empire. It's because they're mating with them, you idiot." Someone tells. But generally people are like very excited because, well, apparently Averland does have the best meat in the Empire. You can see that Kaufman is basically just masterfully, playing out the role of the town's savior and great trader. You already see that many people in town bought the meat he brought to the market, and they are returning with it to their homes. What's your next course of action, boys?
Well, I thought it was just Sally that was out there.
Oh, okay. So you stayed with Gennaro. Yeah?
I thought
Alright.
the rest of it, because he was trying to sneak and
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you and Johan stayed with Gennaro.
How much for the shank?
For you, for Schlichters, and he once again raises his voice, it will be a single silver piece for the whole shank.
I hand over a silver. Yeah, can you wrap this up for me?
Of course. Otto, wrap this piece for Herr Schlichter here. Of course, boss, says one of his men. And he wraps this fine piece of meat in a cloth and hands it over to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Master Halfling.
I put the bagged up meat in my satchel.
All right.
backpack, I guess.
Yeah. It's fresh. It smells, well, like raw meat, but it's fresh. What are you doing now? Are you turning to your gang?
Is there a physician or anything in town?
Uh, Physician, you don't really know.
A surgeon?
Probably some kind of surgeon, yeah.
Okay, I can go back to the pharmacist and ask the pharmacist, because I already talked to them before.
Okay. So we go to the pharmacist.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
has
looking for a surgeon or a physician or...
Well, we don't really have one here. I mean, I usually work as a surgeon, I guess, when people are ill or need stitching. What can I help you with, Herr Schlichter?
I want to take the meat out of my bag. I want to show it to her.
All right, you show it to the to her. She looks at it. Yes.
Does it look like one of your patients, or does it look like...
She looks like you. She looks at you with with basically just really, really, in a really, really weird way. Well, it looks like meat, Herr Schlichter.
So meat's meat?
Yeah, meat's meat usually.
Okay. I apologize.
No,
Wrap
it's
it up.
I'm happy that I can help you, but
I'll tell you what. You keep this for the family.
Oh, thank you very much, thank you. She, with a polite smile, she places the meat under her counter.
Okay. Yeah. I head
So-
back to the gang.
All right, they are still standing in the small alley, watching the house. By the time that that Sally returns, no one came in or out of the house. Just so you know, Andrew.
Okay.
He's selling mystery.
What?
He's selling mystery meat, guys.
I take it that you don't think it's from what he says it's from, then.
Or I don't think it's from where he says he got it. He says he got it from Taliban.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the goblins could buy it at Talaheim.
I don't think they
Yeah.
bought it.
Yeah. No, that's suspicious. Does it seem like what we saw him bring back is what he was selling, or do we still have no idea?
You have no idea because you did not saw what was in the cart. Like I said, the cart was covered in a dirty blanket. You don't know what was inside the cart.
Is it dark enough yet to check it out?
No, but he's still not home.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and jump over the gate or whatever. Whatever I have to
There's
do.
no gate. There's basically his shed is on the is out in the back of his house. His house is very modest compared to the house of Oslander. It's like just any other house in this town, basically. Not far from Marktplatz.
Okay, I guess I want to creep into the shed.
All right. Andrew, what are you going to do?
Stand guard.
All right. Gennaro asks you if he should come with you or stay here.
Stand guard.
All right, boss. No worries. Johan also says that he will keep watch. So, all right. So roll for sneaking. All right. Basically, you've made it because no one really saw you. Because
No one around.
yeah. I mean, there are people around, but you're not doing anything really suspicious. You're not breaking. You're just going to the back of his house. On the back of his house, which is not, which is really close to other buildings in the town, you see a small shed with a door that is locked with a heavy-looking paddle. The door are closed. The door is closed. Sorry.
Is it locked?
Yes, like I said, there is a paddle.
Okay. Is there Could I break it with my club?
Probably, but it would be really loud. But you can do this, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
All right. Roll for strength, please. I mean, for damage. Just roll for damage.
Oh, just 1d10?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
All right. You've broken the paddle with a few hits. It went to the ground with a loud clang. You opened the door, I guess. Inside you see some barrels, some shelves with stuff on them, and you see the cart, still covered with this dirty blanket.
Okay, I want to peek under the blanket.
All right, you come to the car, you peek under the blanket, and you're very sorry that you actually did this. Under the blanket are numerous pieces of animal, snotling, and human corpses. Roll for willpower.
Okay. Oh.
Luck, maybe?
Okay. Oh.
Add 1 insanity point to your character chart, please.
Okay.
Basically, you saw, normal pieces of meat, but there's also a human arm. There's also a goblin leg, snotling leg. There are bits of strange bits of meat. You have no idea. It stinks horribly. You now know what the choice meats are, and you're kind of feeling sorry for the poor lady that you've just presented with a fine steak.
I'm gonna walk back out to the group, like, just horrified, just like.
Yeah,
covering.
You see that Sally comes back to you. He's literally white. He is literally white. His eyes are filled with horror and disgust. Gennaro just runs to you. Boss, what happened? You okay?
We need to get the witch hunter now.
In that case, why don't 2 of us go get the witch hunter and 2 of us stay there?
Okay.
To make sure that things aren't disposed of because you made a lot of noise. Yeah.
I don't want to stay here.
Yeah. Do you want to? Why don't you go with
Gennaro?
Johan? Or yeah, you can go with Gennaro and I'll stay here with Johan.
Okay. He was last at the Black Door Inn. I guess I'll go back there.
Okay, so Johan and Lucas stay here.
Yeah, basically
And-
to make sure that they don't come back and see that it's been busted into and whatnot.
All right.
'Cause that's our only evidence right there.
Right.
And Gennaro and Sally go back to find the witch hunter. I assume that you're doing this as fast as possible.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, you did. You did found the witch hunter in the Black Boar. When you entered, you see that he's still sitting there, reading a small leather-bound book with a symbol of the hammer on the, on its cover. Well, what are you going?
Inquisitor, we need your help.
What happened?
I approach him so I could whisper. It's Kaufman.
Yes. You see that he's interested now.
We witnessed the deal between Kaufman and some greenskins, and he came back with a cart. And then he took what was in the cart and he's selling it in the marketplace as meat from Talabheim.
And what was in the cart? You see that the witch hunter is basically turning red on his face with fury, as you mentioned that Kaufman had dealings with goblins.
Like I'm like speechless. Like I want to be able to see on my face that like bad stuff in the cart.
Show me.
Okay.
You see that the witch hunter, he just got up, put the book away into his satchel, and walk out. people are like, of course, curious as to what happened. Some of them, begin to murmur as they see that all of you go out. Andrew, fortunately, Kaufman and his men did not came back.
Okay.
And when Sally, Gennaro, and the witch hunter arrived, you see that there's a small gathering of people following them. Obviously, very curious as to what is happening.
Can I tell Gennaro to go get eyes on Kaufman in the marketplace?
Yeah, boss, sure thing. And he
Okay.
just goes in the opposite direction. Show me, Halfling. What's this thing?
I lead him to the shed.
Right?
It's under the blanket in the cart.
You see that he unceremoniously pulls off the blanket, sees what's inside. He curses under his breath. Heresy!
Heresy.
Heresy of the highest sort. This town is riddled with corruption. I'm not sure if it will escape the holy fire. Find me this Kaufman man. Find him now.
Where shall
And-
we meet you?
You will come with me. We'll distribute.
Okay.
We will dispense justice.
I sent my man to the marketplace where I last saw Kaufman.
Good, very good. You basically, as you came from around his house, you see that the crowd of people is that has gathered is quite large, and that in fact Kaufman and his two men are making their way towards the house, shouting very loudly, "What's going on here? What's this gathering in front of my house? What's the?" And then he saws the witch hunter, who points at him and yells, "Stop right there, criminal scum!" And of course, Kaufman is just basically like frozen on the place. "This man," shouts the witch hunter, "this man deals with the greenskins. This man sells human meat." And when he just saw this, people went hysterical. Basically, they just they began cursing, yelling. Some of them began vomiting because obviously they probably already ate some of the meat that he was selling. This man consorts with one of the mankind's biggest enemies. "Seize him, Schlichters!" yells the witch hunter, and pulls his rapier and one of his pistols, and aims it at Kaufman, who's white on his face. His two men are moving away from him, but to no avail. The people of town they're just they've grabbed them, they've disarmed them. They've also begun tugging at Kaufman's coat, landing some punches on him, kicking him. You know that if you let them, they will probably just beat him to death, right here and right now. Because it's one thing to have a beastman in your cellar, but it's the other thing when you're selling human meat to people. If you want that quickly, well, the justice will be served, but
Everyone clear the way.
as you've shouted this, most of the people backed away, since your position as Schlichters is very respected. There were, of course, some who managed to land a few last kicks on the prone Kaufman, who just lays on the ground, weeping. You come to him. What are you doing?
I need something to bind his hands.
Johann has a rope.
Okay. I securely tie his hands together behind his back.
Alright. I just wanted for this town to survive. He basically just saying his villain.
And who died to make this town survive?
I don't know. I didn't kill these people. Goblins did it. It was the goblins.
You might as well have done it yourself.
Witch hunter loudly proclaims. You can also see Burgomeister and the priest of Sigmar. They also joined the crowd on this small street. Witch hunter proclaims, "Hear me, people of Nordfels. Your town has fallen into heresy. There's only one crime in the Empire, and it is heresy as dictated by Sigmar himself 2,500 years ago. You need to wash your sins. in order to wash your sins, we need to make a trial. We need to make a trial of Stefan Ostlander and Hein Kaufmann. And we need to make this trial right now. Schlichters, he points at you. You will present the proof. You will be your basically you will condemn this man. Yeah.
Cart?
What?
Should I show the people the cart?
He walks.
Well, that'll be during the trial.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Bring the evidence, Father. He points towards the priest of Sigmar. Bring the evidence from Ostlander's house, the few manuscripts that you've managed to save for just this occasion. Of course, Herr Templar. Burgomeister, he points towards the Burgomeister. Prepare the Marktplatz for trial, and prepare the noose. Of course. Says Burgomeister, and he points towards few of the citizens to, well, to help him prepare, the noose, on which 2 of the heretics will probably be hanged. However, you see that there is still a lot of tension. You can hear that many people in the crowd, as you all move towards the Marktplatz, many people, argue between themselves. Some of them saying that it's been a provocation, that, Ostlander is innocent, that it was probably Kaufmann who put the beastman in his cellar. Other people say that this meat tasted like chicken. It was clearly, it couldn't have been a human or goblin meat. That basically this trial, in which you take, you will be able to make your statement, will determine the future of this town. One wrong word, and the people will just tear each other apart, and Nordfels will fall.
If there's a group of people near me, like, saying all this,
There
I
are
want to
lots of people are saying this, and they are very agitated.
tell them to silence their tongue in either man's defense.
You tell this to one group of people, and the other group of people, just basically begins to saying the same thing.
Okay.
You know how it works. Yeah, there are still loyalties here. There's still some denial. This trial will practically determine everything. So we are moving towards the end of the adventure. Now it's trial time. Sorry. The sun is slowly setting over the horizon. And the Burgomeister called the Marktgericht, which is basically the trial on the Marktplatz. Almost every single citizen of the town is present, including the Burgomeister himself, the Templar of Sigmar, the priest of Sigmar, who brought he brought a huge bag with him, filled with, you can see that it's filled with books and scrolls, probably these books and scrolls. As you can see, he's constantly dripping the book with holy water and mouthing prayers under his breath, probably to ward off evil that's emanating from the bag. You can see both Stefan Ostlander and Hein Kaufmann tied and standing near hastily constructed noose. Witch Hunter goes to the middle of the square and shouts, "Schlichters will now make their statements. According to what they say, we will judge these men. They will be trialed, and the trial will be just. They will be trialed in the eyes of Sigmar. Schlichters, this is the accused Stefan Ostlander. I want
Okay,
you..."
Lucas, do you want to take this one?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Continue.
I want you to tell everyone, and if you'll be able to present evidence of this man's crimes. Okay, so basically here's how it works. You need to make a charm test for both Stefan and Hein, but there will be modifiers based on what you did and what you did not. Of course, I'm not going to say what you didn't, yeah, but I will give you bonus modifiers for every single thing that you did. So, you've handed over Ostlander's diary as evidence to the priest.
Mm-hmm.
You've handed over Ostlander's forbidden books as evidence to the priest.
Mm-hmm.
You've managed to kill the beastman before it killed innocent people. And basically, I'm telling you this, and in game, you know, both you and the priest, basically, you're telling this man's crimes. And you've managed to stop the beastman before it escaped the cellar, which you know that it would did if you hadn't killed it. So you're presenting this to the people who are just, you know, they've just fallen silent and they're just hanging on every word that you're saying. So make one of you make a charm test with a modifier of 50%.
Oh, what kind of test?
Charm.
Charm.
You want me to do it?
I suggest that the person with the highest charm do the test.
Yeah, I don't have that skill, so yeah, I would suggest that.
I have a
it's not
35 fellowship.
Remember that if you don't have charm, you're rolling for half the skill, but you have a 50% modifier. Does any of you have academic knowledge low?
Don't think so.
No.
Alright, so it's half the charm plus 50%. One of you rolls. You can of course re-roll if you still have fate points.
Yeah, I lack the charm skill. So do you have that, Ryan?
I don't. I have a fellowship of 35 though.
Yeah,
So
that's higher than
it's-
mine.
So it's 17 fellowship plus 50, so you need to roll 67 or less.
Yeah.
Make the roll, Brian. Alright, you've presented the evidence. You've convinced the crowd. Basically, Ostlander retorts by saying that his experiments on the beast and his dealings with the ruinous powers were purely academic. He wanted to do this for the benefit of man. He wanted to discover cures for many ailments. He wanted to find out how to improve people's lives. But at one point, you know, his blasphemy is so horrible as he describes how he was, you know, making. Well, he confessed to experiment on humans, basically, on beggars that were coming through the town. That the witch hunter just came to him and smashed his face with his fist, yelling that now he will, you know, he will send him to meet Sigmar, and Sigmar will judge him and send him to his infernal masters. So at this point, of course, you know, first Ostlander begins to beg for his life and then proceeds to curse the onlookers to the most sickening hell he can imagine, before being rudely interrupted by the breaking of his neck on the noose. Something like that. After he was dealt with and his body has been brought down, it's time for Hein Kaufmann. Once again, you're called to the center of the Platz. You probably think that it would be a good idea to maybe make Kaufmann's men to corroborate your accusations.
Can we talk to them privately?
Yes, you can. You can basically just, you know, speak with them. They're not. They have manacles, but they are not treated yet. Trialed yet as heretics. Although you don't know if they will be or will not. But as
So-
you approach them, they are saying, "Please, Schlichters, we didn't know what was in the cart. The Kaufman was just paying us. We are simple guards. We ate the meat that he sold here. If we knew that we were eating men's flesh, we would never help him. We would kill him. We would bring him to justice. Please don't kill us, please."
I'm gonna call you as a witness, and you're gonna say exactly that, and you're gonna describe the events because we were behind you the entire time.
Will this help us save our lives?
It's the only thing that can help you.
You know, they look at each other. Basically, they just agree immediately. They have no loyalty to Kaufman.
Okay.
So right. You basically have their collaboration. You've got the card of corpses presented as evidence. Now, how do you want to present the card?
I'm just gonna bring the cart with the blanket on it. If the witch hunter wants to take the blanket off to show the crowd, I guess I'll let him do it.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Alright, you guys can roll for intelligence. Okay, I've just failed this. With a bonus, so both of you passed. You think that it will probably be a good idea to present only human corpses as evidence.
Okay.
Because, you know, goblin corpses of course are disgusting, but people eating people, it's one of the big no-no in the Empire.
I don't want to reach in that cart again though.
General says that, "Yeah, boss, yeah, you always had a weak stomach, yeah, I'll help you, yeah." And you
Okay,
know,
just look away as you do it.
yeah, sure thing, yeah. Well, I'm a sissy. You know, General walks over to cart. He pulls the blanket up a bit, you know, and he prepares the choice meats. All right, so now you make another charm test, and you will have 10% for Kaufman's, for the collaboration of Kaufman's men, 5% from cart of corpses, and another 15% from presenting only human corpses as evidence. So a total of 30%. You've made it. Congratulations. Okay. Basically, you've presented the evidence. You've presented human remains. You know, human hands, human legs. There's obviously, you know, a human belly. Some of the people, you know, just once again began to retch and vomit, or you know, or wail, curse under their breaths, because you don't know how long they have been eating, well, other people really. They are obviously disgusted and furious at this. The two of Kaufman's guards present their statements, saying that they did not know what they were getting into, that he was paying them good money, and that he was paying them to lie from where they got their, you know, the meat. So just like with Ostlander, basically Kaufman was hanged. As his body was taken down, you saw that the witch hunter came to both of these guards and just ran them through with his rapier, saying loudly that these men collaborated with greenskins and that there is no redemption for them in the eyes of Sigmar. He killed them so quickly and so efficiently that none of them even had a chance to scream. You know, their corpses have been taken by few strong men, together with the corpses of Kaufman and Ostlander, and they were taken out outside the town and burned there, so nothing would remain. After this is over, the people basically just dispersed. Some of them stayed on the market. Most of them went to the black boar to just drink themselves, trying to forget that they were eating man flesh. Burgomeister, witch hunter, and the priest remained. Burgomeister says to you, "Well, Schlichters, I wanted to thank you for bringing back the unity to this town. Your job is done, and here's your payment." And he pays each of you 5 gold crowns for their troubles.
Okay.
After he does that, "But now I'm afraid it's time for you to leave this community. Your job is done, the unity has been restored. I thank you once again." Then he nods towards the Templar of Sigmar, bows towards the Templar of Sigmar and nods towards the Sigmarite priest, and hurriedly returns to his home. The priest of Sigmar looks at you respectfully, makes the sign of the hammer and says, "Thank you for your service here. It won't be forgotten." And
no
then,
thanks is necessary.
yeah, and then he returns to his temple, leaving only the witch hunter, who looks at each of you, with his piercing glare. You see that the priest handed him the bag with the manuscripts and books from the Ostlander's house. "This town escaped the holy fire thanks to your actions. The God King looks favorably upon you. You have his thanks and mine."
I reach out to shake his hand.
He looks at your hand. He looks at you, and after a second, he shakes it. He shakes each of your hands. "If I may ask, where are you going right now?"
I think we're heading east, aren't we? Yeah. Or west, I think.
West, towards... Oh, very well. So you're not heading north.
What's happening north?
Well, war happened there, in case you haven't heard.
No, we're steering clear from that.
Yes, I guess you are. I was just curious. Anyway, I thank you for your help once again. It's time for me to leave this place and to find more enemies of man.
I hope we cross paths again.
Not too many people wishes to cross the path of a witch hunter.
No,
That's what I was
that's
thinking.
been an honor.
I hope so too, and I hope that if we do, it will be as allies.
Always.
For your sake, let it be so. Then he tips his hat, he turns around, and he, walks away, leaving you standing in the square. So that's the end of the adventure. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Honestly, you did a very good job. There was a really big chance that you could have, made people just tear each other apart. But you've pulled through, and
We
now
still
you.
have guys in the cellar.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we'll roleplay this rather quick. You go back to Black Boar, where there's there are lots of people there. So Eggy will have, will earn a lot of money tonight. Some of them, the mood is mixed. Some of them are happy that both Kaufman and Ostlander have been dealt with. Others are clearly drinking themselves blind, trying to forget what that the steak that they've eaten last night, it was probably made from some poor farmer. But one thing you see is that there are no more divisions. People are just sitting together. So your job here is done. Egil comes to you and says, "I was at the edge of the crowd. I saw what happened. You did good. You have my thanks. I've prepared provisions for you for the road. It should last you a week."
Yes, and I'd like to settle my debts.
No debts need to be settled. I am in your debt, and this town is in your debt. And the dwarves never forget people who did them good.
What of the 3 prisoners?
I will present them to Burgomeister tomorrow. After, people here will cool down a bit. Poor Carol will be avenged. No, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
But, I think we have enough death for one night. Thank you once
Can
again.
we stay the night and leave in the morning?
Of course. I guess you want to eat something. I will prepare you a fine meal. And tomorrow, if you'll be leaving us, then you'll receive the provisions for the road.
Great, thank you very much.
It is I who thank you. So basically, you've spent, you've eaten your meal. You've drunk the best ale that Egil had. He truly made you a feast. The delicious food was prepared. Bacon with beans and pears, fried onions with Stirland cheese, pork slices in hot cider, and a fine ale from Reichland. Everything was delicious. Next morning, after a healthy sleep, you've eaten your breakfast, you've collected your provisions, and you've, hit the road, walking towards Naun, the jewel of the Empire. But what happened to you on the road, we shall find out next time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That was good.
Yeah, basically I really like this adventure, I must say. It was one of the better ones that I've ran, I guess. So, it's experience time. First I'm going to give you experience for the adventure, and then we'll proceed to our standard experience distribution. So, for each of you get 80 experience for surviving the adventure. Basically, I hope that you're noting this.
Yep.
Alright. Then, 20 experience for solving Carol's murder. Then, 40 experience for destroying Ostlander's experiment. Then, 20 experience for sentencing of Ostlander. Then 30 experience for destroying Kaufmann's monopoly.
20 experience?
30.
30, sorry.
Then 20 experience for sentencing Kaufmann. And lastly, 40 experience for saving Nordfels. So you've got the whole you've got all the experience that you could, basically.
How much for saving Nordfeld? I'm sorry.
40.
40.
That's a total of 250.
And that's just the beginning, because now I'm going to give you your usual experience. So for today's game, each of you gets 30 experience. For your characters, each of you gets 10 experience, so it's a max. For your place of birth, I didn't really saw that today, unfortunately. Neither Tylea nor Talabekland.
Yeah, I had meant to do.
Like, I heard stories of workers that became rich merchants overnight.
What? Come again?
Like, I said, I had heard stories of penniless beggars that became rich merchants overnight through dark deals with the dark gods or something like that.
Okay, but how does this factor into you being Tylean?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But that was pretty good, and I've captured that, but I've kinda well, I was thinking about it in terms of your character more than your place of birth. Like I said, you don't need to roleplay the additional things; they are just bonuses for you. What about your religion? How would you say that you roleplay your religion, guys?
I said Reynold give me strength when we walked into the chamber, and the thing started charging at us.
All right, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think also in Ronald's favor, I suggested we look into the house before breaking in.
I'm going to actually give you max points for that because both of you wanted to rob the Ostlander's house after everything. So yeah, Ronald was pleased today. So you get 10 points for your religion, which is a max. Now your star sign.
Give me just a second.
Yeah, I need to check your star sign. Your star sign is...
This is Mummet the Fool.
Andrew.
Yeah.
You're Mummet the Fool. Yeah, remember that there's a reference to star signs in our notes section.
Yeah, that's what I'm flipping to.
Sensible, intuitive, lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got 10 points for chopping the beastman's leg with one blow. I mean, Christ, you're a killing machine with syphilis.
Yeah.
10 points for you. Brian, what about you?
I'm not quite sure. I'm reading it now. Merciful. I mean, I bought a lot of drinks for people.
Rias Caudron. Wait a second. Righteous, merciful.
I don't know.
I'm going to give you 10 because you've basically you were going first in the tunnel. You were breaking in the to the guy's house and not sending just Gennaro.
He tried to save the lives of the workers that ended up getting.
I'm not really sure if he was trying to save them, honestly,
yeah.
or if, but you did look under the blanket, so I'm going to give you 10 points because you did good on that. And then your doom. What about your doom?
What is my doom? My doom is the something about a blade. Where's the doom? The doom is in. Is doom in Tome of Salvation or the companion?
No. Basically, the doom is not interpretables. I mean, there are no descriptions. It's just your doom. So.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what my doom was. I'd recognize it if I see it. That's what I'm looking for.
No, but it's on your character sheet. The sword should bring no justice, only suffering.
Didn't realize it was on my character sheet.
Yeah, I've added all your dooms to your character sheets, basically. So, for quick reference.
I can't think of anything really either. Because it's kind of vague, you know what I mean?
I know. It really depends. Beware the blind maiden, for her skills show wide I saw. Well, it's basically left to your imagination, guys, and to your interpretation. You don't need to take it.
Yeah, and I mean in Lucas's case, he didn't use a sword, but I think that's usually an analogy for any kind of weapon, and he did, bring suffering with his weapon. But I suspect that's a little more other people's doom more so than his doom. Although he did witness suffering that weapons cause. But again, I don't know that that's necessarily philosophical enough, if that makes sense. It's not introspective enough. That's more.
Yeah.
And I'm making up a word here, extrospective, than introspective. So I don't know that would necessarily Yeah, he didn't warn anybody not to use violence, because violence never solves anything or something like that. So,
I mean, I tried taking more of a gentler approach. Like I didn't threaten to beat anybody up or anything really this time.
what's your doom?
The
You-
blind maiden shall weigh thy soul.
Yeah, beware
Oh,
the
that's
blind
interesting.
maiden, for his chaos shall weigh thy soul. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'll tell you what. Just next time, think about your dooms. Think how you can put them in the game. Like they're really optional, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So finally, we come to the ideas that somewhat pushed the adventure forward. That helped you solve cases. What about the ideas, guys? Did any of you had any cool ideas that that were really, really clever, really unique, that managed to push the game forward?
Hmm.
I am not a clever person, so
I think splitting up a lot. We had eyes on multiple things at once. Because
Alright.
if we missed one piece of evidence, it would have changed the whole adventure. We would have an arrow watching something.
the distraction. Whose idea was that? The breaking two windows at once.
I think it was Johann's actually. So yeah, sorry.
The
Robbing-
salt pork to get the dogs away. The salt pork, that was a good idea. That was clever.
Yeah, that was pretty clever. That was idea.
That was Sal.
All right, so it's 5 points for you, most definitely.
Does robbing Auslander's house count as an idea?
No, not really. Whose idea was not to go to the clearing and and engage?
Yeah, that was my idea.
Yeah, basically
I
it
didn't-
was really good because these goblins were pretty badass. So it could end very badly for you, and it could also mean that you would not be able to bring back the card. And if you would not bring back the card, you basically would have no evidence, because the manuscript, the scroll, was in fact a map, just a map. So I'm going to give 5 points to you, Andrew, for that. So each of you gets 5 points for your ideas.
Okay.
And I guess that's all, basically.
Okay, so that's 310 total for me.
Alright. Just
Yeah, so
note it on your character sheets.
So that's 310 for you. That's 310 for me because we got everything the same.
So you have enough experience for 3 advances. Remember, Brian, that if you want to, level up Gennaro, you have to make it from your experience pool.
Yeah.
Although right now he's quite barely, I think. So, maybe invest in your character.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll have one more adventure on the road, and then it's time for Noun. And in Noun, basically things will get maybe not harder, but more serious, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that I'm going to kill you all, of course, but well, just be prepared, because Noun is a very hard place to be, very hard place to just live in and make money and everything. And hopefully until our next game we'll have another player. We'll just have to ask and see if
I
someone
put the
will.
word out on a few groups, and I'm gonna ask the vampire group tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm also going to put out the word. I hope we'll get someone. I mean, if it comes to wars, I mean, Johan will still be with you if we don't find anyone until our next game. And there's Gennaro, but it would be cool to have 3 players.
Yeah.
I hope that we won't have, any more dropouts. But
Andrew, do you have anybody you could ask, like in local groups or anything?
I don't have, I have zero involvement in local groups for stuff like that. Just because I got 3 kids, I'm pretty busy and pretty away from actual gaming groups. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of people to ask. But if anybody presents themselves that I think would be worth asking, I'll definitely ask.
yeah, unfortunately, I also don't have anyone. My group is meeting once a week, but none of them would probably be able to play with us, unfortunately. So we really need to stick to the forums. Fortunately, I'm quite active on rpg.net and Strike to Stun, so I'll ask there. And on a couple of Facebook groups as well. On 2, I'm active on 2 Facebook groups, so I'll ask there as well. And well, we'll be seeing each other in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
2
sounds
weeks.
good.
So it's
What's the date?
30th of January.
On the 30th? Okay.
If that's okay for you guys, then we'll be meeting then.
That's so 1 o'clock next time or 1:30 our time?
Like today. I mean, so it's your 1 o'clock. It will be 7 p.m. Of course, if anything happens, then just write and we can start at an later hour, like today. It's no problem, really.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much, guys.
Very
As usual, it was a great pleasure playing with you, and I'll see you next time.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.